Hey, Justin Morris here with Work SEO. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to take a look into your website and your marketing. So I've been doing web design, digital marketing, and consulting for companies just like yours since 2017. Currently, my company Work SEO and my company Freedom Wave are the top companies in the nation for companies like yours in the tree care industry. We help companies like yours get a better online presence. We build world-class websites. And one of the things that we're best at is we help companies like yours get found online. So if somebody has a tree fall down in their area and they go to Google and they type tree care around me or tree removal around me, we want to make sure that you show up. So as I was taking a deep dive into your website and into your marketing, I discovered quite a few things. One thing I want to say about this video is whether you decide to hire me or not as your digital marketing agency, I'm 100% positive if you take my advice, you'll still receive a lot of success. So even if you decide not to go with me, I do believe you will be able to get a lot of success just implementing some of these strategies into your business. So let's dive in. Well, the first thing I want to mention is that I went to your website. I'm on your website right here. And from first glance, your website looks pretty good. So I went ahead and took a look at it on my mobile device. So I looked at it on an iPhone. I noticed that your phone number is in the right area. I noticed that your phone number is clickable. And as I scrolled through the website, everything looked clean. Everything loaded very quickly. And it definitely looked like a professional website. Now, as I did a little more searching, as I dove a little deeper, I did discover some things that I think are going to be really valuable for you to know. So the very first thing is that you had some very specific areas that you wanted to rank in. And actually, I'm going to take a little step back. Before I even say that, I want to say that you started our conversation with telling me that things were very slow right now. So that was concerning. I asked you, how's business going, how things are going? And you said right now they're very slow. But when I messaged you on Facebook, I did receive a message saying that you've been in business for 10 years. So if you've been in business for 10 years, yet somehow things are very slow with your company. So in my professional opinion, or what I've seen right now with most companies that I work with, is that companies that have been in business for quite a few years are absolutely swamped right now, and they're having a hard time keeping up, meaning they need more secretaries. They're contacting me saying, hey, I can't handle the amount of work that's coming in. And so for you saying that it's kind of slow, there has to be a reason for this. And so I did take a look into what's going on, and I did discover some things. So first of all, let's talk about the areas that you want people to find you. So you want people to find you in some very specific areas. Was Tyler, Texas. Another one was Kilgore, Texas. And the third one that you mentioned was White House, Texas. So the first thing I did was I went onto Google and I just did a basic search. I just searched those areas such as Kilgore, Texas, and tree removal or tree care. So Kilgore tree care, Kilgore tree removal, White House tree care, White House tree removal. And I did a bunch of these searches and I dove deep into the search engines and I was not able to find you anywhere. The next thing that I did was I typed in your actual name, so the specific name of your company, and once again, I was not able to find you anywhere. I'm not sure if you have a Google My Business page set up or not, but a Google My Business page is free. If you don't have one of those, I would go to Google right now and I would set up a Google My Business profile, set that up as a business. You want to be found in Google, so you want to make sure that you have that set up. Verify it if that's even possible, but if it's possible to verify it, get that verified. Now, you may have that set up and maybe I just couldn't find it, but if you have it set up, make sure you're adding pictures, you're adding content, all of your hours of operation, your website domain name, your phone number, make sure that is all visible on there, because for some reason I was having a hard time finding it. Now, as I search through your website, the first thing that comes to mind that makes me say, this is why it isn't working, is because those areas are not listed anywhere on your website. So if we're trying to teach Google that you want to be found in Kilgore, Texas, we want to make sure that those keywords are here, because if those keywords don't exist on your website, there's no way Google's ever going to rank it. So for example, we have about sprawl tree service as your top heading. And then the next page is our mission. At Sprawl Tree Service, our mission is to provide top-notch tree trimming, tree removal, and stump grinding services to our community. Well, where is our community? So the Google has no idea where you do work right now. So this header right here, which should be labeled as an H1 header, I'm not sure if you know that or not, but if you're able to modify that as an H1 header, this should say Sprawl Tree Service, servicing White House, Kilgore, Tyler, Texas, or something along those lines. Or maybe it doesn't even say Sprawl Tree Service. Maybe it just says tree care and tree removal in Kilgore, White House, Tyler, Texas. Okay, so we need to have those names visible right away so Google can search them. And if I scroll up your website a little bit more, I would even think I would like to see this right here, right at the very top, rather than having it say Sprawl Tree Service. And why am I saying that is because unless somebody knows you, unless they know your name, they're probably not going to go online and search Sprawl Tree Service. But even what I determined is even if they do know your name, they still might not be able to find you. So as we continue going, get your free estimate. Clicking on this is taking me to possibly nowhere. I'm not sure. This should be linked to a jobber page or a single ops page. I have never worked with a successful tree care company that doesn't use jobber or single ops. And out of those two, I would use jobber. You could get a jobber account for $40 a month to start off. First of all, I don't work for jobber. Jobber doesn't pay me any commission or anything like that, but it's just a smart thing to do. Then it would go right to your CRM. If you start to get a lot of calls, you're going to have a hard time tracking them. Right now, people can't even click that to get a free estimate. But if you were getting a lot of calls, you would have to be able to put those into your CRM, such as jobber. And so I would recommend jobber. Once again, I don't work for them. I don't get any kickback. I actually pay jobber. But I would recommend that at $40 a month to start off with. It's definitely something you should do. And as I'm just looking through this website, even though from first looks it looks good, there really just isn't enough content for you to rank. Now, I have a feeling you're going to get back to me and you're going to say, I just started working on this website. So you might get back to me and say, well, we just uploaded it. We're just building it now. So then I'm going to give you some advice on this website. You want to have all of your services that you offer listed as separate pages. So you should have a separate page for tree removal, a separate page for tree pruning, a separate page for stump grinding. If you do plant health care or anything like that, there should be separate pages. Then you should have a separate page that's going to be an about page. And that page would be about you and your company and why people might want to choose you. And so you want to make sure you have those separate pages. Those pages should be listed on your homepage, and then they should link back to those separate pages. That will give you something, that will give you a little extra Google juice having those links right there. And just looking through here, I do see a request a quote page here. There's a chance that this goes to a jobber, but I don't really know. And then looking here, I do see Tyler, Texas listed. So at least we do see it listed at least one time here, but it's just not enough. This bottom site here where it says powered by GoDaddy, Aero, is that a AI maybe? It looks like this might be an AI type website. These AI websites, if that's the case, are built not to rank, so they won't ever rank. Clicking Facebook, I think it takes me to your Facebook, which is great. This is good. So your Facebook is really good here. I'm glad that it's working on your Facebook. I noticed that your website's listed on Facebook. That's good. Once you have the website doing well and it's going the way you want it to look and everything's working in that website, what you would want to do is you would want to take some ads and run them from Facebook to your website to get people to your website. If Google's seen lots of traffic coming to your website, they might give you a little boost in the search engines. If you had hired me, what I would do is I would build this website out. First of all, I think that's a stock photo right there. I would get rid of every single stock photo. That's a stock photo there. I think I've used that one before. I would get rid of all the stock photos. I would make sure everything's very personal. I would tag every single picture. I would make sure we have the proper H1 headings installed, the proper H2 headings installed. We would make sure we load this website up with keywords. Then I would build 3 other pages, and those pages would be like KilgoreTreeRemoval.com or KilgoreTreeCare.com, WhiteHouseTreeCare.com. I would TylerTreeCare.com if that's available. We'll find ones like that are available, and we would build up those lead pages. So to give us further bumps in the search engines. And after I make this site super amazing, I would take those sites and I would put it on those lead pages. That'll give you a big bump in the search engines. If you made it this far into the video, I have one more suggestion. And to me, I think this is one of the more important suggestions. If I was you, I would rebrand your company. So in your Facebook message to me, one of the first things your Facebook automatically tells me is that your company is owned by a former Green Beret. The very first text on your website is it's owned and operated by a former Green Beret. So that's something that's important to you. And it's also something that other people can't copy. Something that it sets you apart, it makes you unique. And if I was you, I would rebrand everything on your tree site and I would call it like greenberettreecare.com. And and then I would have a logo that represented the Green Berets. I would have everything look like Green Beret. That way, when you do a job, okay, I had to go back to look at your website and I couldn't remember your last name. So I probably went back, and I have like 10 million things going on at once. So that might just be me also, but I think 3 times I went back to look, what is his last name again? What's the last name? So I can find it, right? But everyone is going to remember a Green Beret. So if you do a job for someone and someone says, oh yeah, man, I had my tree removed by that guy, he's a Green Beret. And then they just search Green Beret tree removal, like you're going to come up right away. If I was you, I would rebrand everything and I would focus on that. Super awesome, really cool. No one else can do that. It will set you apart from everyone else. And so if you came on board with me, we would probably suggest rebranding everything. greenberettreecare.com, greenberettreeremoval.com, build out those lead pages, get you found in Google, and make you that $1 million. All right, man. Thanks for watching the video. I hope this helps. I hope you were able to gain some insight from this and some knowledge. If you want to talk more and you're interested in receiving a proposal from me and see how we could work together, just let me know. And either way, I wish you nothing but success. All right, thank you.